So what's going on in the culture? Okay, so we've discussed the rollbacks of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. We've discussed the attacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. We've discussed how that term has been weaponized and used to provide cover for people making mistakes. They simply blame DEI and find anyone closest to them in the corporate hierarchy and pass the blame to that individual who they feel quote unquote qualifies as a DEI hire. We've talked about how the rollbacks of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives have created the greatest job loss for Black women in United States history, in modern history, and so forth and so on. And this obviously is something that 92% of Black women voted against. This country turned its back on Black women, and Black women are having to pay the price for that. That's like the saddest thing I think I've ever said on any show that I've ever done, but it's the truth. So here we are today. And we're going to share from webpronews.com. And I know you sent this over, Q, so I'm going to just paint the picture and let you go first here. So Google's recent decision to remove more than 50 diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI organizations from its list of funded nonprofits marks a significant shift in the tech giant's approach to social initiatives, aligning with broader industry trends and political pressures under the current administration. The move, uncovered by the Tech Transparency Project, involves dropping groups whose missions emphasize terms like diversity, equity, inclusion, race, activism, and women, resulting in the exclusion of 58 entities from Google's previous top-funded list. This comes amid reports that the company is prioritizing artificial intelligence investments over DEI efforts, as detailed in a recent CNBC article. Insiders familiar with Google's operations suggest this pruning is part of a larger cost-cutting strategy, but it also reflects the influence of President Trump's anti-DEI stance, which has encouraged corporations to reassess such programs. For instance, the U.S. Department of Agriculture's termination of over 145 DEI-focused awards earlier this year, saving up to $148.6 million, set a precedent that tech firms appear to be following, according to a USDA press release. The cuts at Google echo a pattern seen across Silicon Valley, where commitments made in the wake of the 2020 George Floyd protests are being rolled back. Back then, Google pledged sweeping DEI advancements, including a 30% increase in leadership representation for underrepresented groups by 2025, a goal the company has now quietly abandoned, as reported by MSNBC in February. This retreat is not isolated. Meta and other tech giants slashed DEI budgets by up to 90% in 2023, per a CNBC analysis from that year. Industry analysts argue that such decisions could hinder innovation by narrowing talent pools, contradicting research from firms like McKinsey that links diverse teams to better performance. Yet, with economic pressures mounting, Google reported slower growth in ad revenue last quarter. The company may see DEI as expendable, a sentiment echoed in Forbes from a piece from late 2023. Okay. So, Q, I just want to get your initial reflections here, and then I'll step in if there's anything left, but this is yours, so take all the time you need here.
There's an interesting thing that keeps happening with capitalist pre-compliance bending the knee to this administration. And there's a couple of reasons why that always catches me off guard. One, it's weird watching somebody that you know isn't strong be a bully. But when somebody that isn't strong is being a bully to people that are obviously weak, you understand why they don't even challenge, right? They don't know that they have the strength to win in that fight. In this case, or in a lot of the cases that we've seen with, again, this pre-compliance, not even being forced to bend the knee, right? And when I say not being forced, I mean it's not illegal to support DEI. It's just unfavorable to this guy. That's the bully. When you see people that are clearly stronger and more powerful bend the knee, The only thing that you can think of is, okay, it's not illegal, but I guess it is in their financial best interest to just go along with this guy.
Yeah.
It's a really strange thing, especially in the case of a company like Google. Google is worth, it's very important to say this out loud,
I think it's like in the trillions, right?
$2.357 trillion. Now, people say money figures out loud all the time now, to a point where people think $1 million isn't a lot of money. Like I heard somebody say that the other day. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like people see like rappers and like professional athletes, like net worth and salaries and all that stuff. And we've gotten so accustomed to hearing these numbers that we've somehow made them insignificant in our heads.
Yeah.
While never even getting $100,000 ourselves, we tell everybody out loud, $1 million ain't really that much money no more. Sure, it isn't. Give me around as $1 million, we'd be good for life, and so would our kids and their kids. Just be clear. I need to say this though: $1 trillion is $1 million.
Yeah.
1 million, not 100 million, not 500 million, 1 million,
Or 1,000 billion.
or 10 to the 12th power. Last time you heard somebody say to the something power, probably about 96,
to sixth grade.
96, 97-ish.
Yeah, man.
Only 5 companies in the history of Earth have ever been worth $1 trillion. Google is worth 2.357 trillion. And capitalism creates such a hunger for more that companies would turn their back on everyone to maybe secure a little bit more money, a little bit more than the everything they already have. At $2.357 trillion, you have everything. You have all of it. You have all that there is to have. One of 5 companies ever. Think how many companies there are. Think how many successful companies there are. To give you an even more clear picture, Nike isn't worth that much money. McDonald's isn't worth that much money. Starbucks, like all these companies that you know are massively successful, are not worth that much money. This company's worth more than double the companies that I just said. And even they are like, okay, Mr. President, we will not continue to support anybody that doesn't already have every advantage possible. And we are so caught in this system. I was trying to figure it out the other day, because we're not going to go to Target anymore. We're not going to order on Amazon anymore. And we're not going to do all this to support all these companies that have turned their backs. Well, when everybody turns their back, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You're not going to use Google no more. It's crazy. How?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
You're not going to eat food no more. You're not going to search information no more ever, because all the places that you used to be able to afford, a combo meal or a Happy Meal for your kid, they don't support DEI no more either. So you can't conveniently go buy goods for yourself. You can't look for information. You can't watch TV. You can't order products, because everybody's turning their back on us. So forgive me if I'm almost never hopeful on here anymore. Because even those with nothing to gain by turning their backs on us are doing it anyway. This is after trillions of dollars in spending power went away from companies like Target. They saw that loss. They still don't care. It's in vogue to just toss us off the boat now. And seemingly everybody is doing it.
This wouldn't be the first time they've tossed us off the boat.